if you're just joining us every Monday, Rick and Pete give out their winners and losers. So, Pete, I'll start with you. Give me your 3 winners that you observed over the weekend.
Well, I have a couple winners, but Joe Burrow got back on track. He's number one in terms of what I expected him to be. Look, the narrative on him was, oh, he's not the same guy. That was garbage. He's the same guy. He's going to get the Bengals right again, and he showed that on Sunday. The Tennessee Titans, for what they did. Mike Vrabel is an outstanding coach. Your team was just beat to death on a Monday night. You come back and you beat the Raiders the way you did. That's impressive coaching by Mike Vrabel. But the big winner is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, you go out west, and history against you. They've been terrible on the West Coast, and they dominated the Chargers. And other people can say, oh, Justin Herbert, he was hurt. Well, he played, so you're absolutely responsible for what you put on tape. He played, and they really dominated him on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. This is a team that more people have to start paying attention to. They're nasty, tough, and physical on defense, and Trevor Lawrence is growing up before our eyes. And they have the Philadelphia Eagles this week on the road. Can you imagine if they win that game?
I would love to see that. And to take nothing away from Jacksonville, but we know that the Bolts are hurt. Even Justin Herbert, who played, has been dealing with all that pain with his ribs. Rick, now give me your Week 3 winners.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the Baltimore Ravens. And the way that Lamar Jackson played, he's playing at MVP level. He counted for 5 touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 rushing. But what impressed me the most about Baltimore last week, their defense responded. The week before against Miami, they gave up 4 touchdown passes. They had 2 picks in the fourth quarter to seal the victory up in New England. The Philadelphia Eagles, what can you say about them? Jalen Hurts is not only playing at a Pro Bowl level, but if he continues to go, is he going to be to start getting the discussion of the MVP level? We don't know, because they're on fire right now. Their defense has just dominated the Commanders yesterday. And Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, if they don't have Matt Ryan and his gutsy performance yesterday and the way they ended up beating the Chiefs, he was sacked 5 times. He was hit 10 times in the pocket, yet continued to battle. And in that last drive, I think there was 8 minutes and 43 seconds left when they got the ball. He ate up that whole clock, got the winning touchdown to Jelani Woods, the rookie out of tight end out of Virginia, and only left Kansas City with 14 seconds left. Now they got a little bit of help with a late penalty in that drive, but if they don't have Matt Ryan, they don't win that game.
You guys were both at Colts camp, and Pete, I know you said that the Matt Ryan thing was going to take some time, and maybe we're starting to see the fruits of the labor that they're trying to do there with Frank Reich. But from that same game, your losers from Week 3 include the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, when you look at the Chiefs, they got to get going on offense. And, you know, Gus Bradley's one of those coaches who knows how to play Patrick Mahomes, and he plays off coverage, and that makes him be patient. And Patrick Mahomes doesn't like being patient. He wants to rip the ball. And so they've had success against them with their off coverage, and they did on Sunday. And, you know, the narrative now for this team is, can they overcome Tyreek Hill? We'll see. The Saints, that's just pathetic on offense. And I will not be shocked if they don't make a change at some point and go to Andy Dalton. Look, Jameis Winston is hurt. Give him credit for playing hurt, but he's not playing well right now. But the biggest loser is Mac Jones. And the reason I say that, A, he's hurt. He's got a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss some time. But he's not playing well. And a year ago, when we were halfway through the season, everybody was anointing him as the next Tom Brady. And, oh my gosh, did these people get the draft wrong by passing on Mac Jones? Now here we are a year later, and there are major questions about Mac Jones. Not just from an injury standpoint, but he was bad on Sunday. He's got 2 touchdown passes and 5 picks, and he doesn't have a lot of help around him in terms of weapons. But come on, you have to be better than that.
Rick, what about you?
Well, the biggest losers I had coming up here were I want to talk about Davis Mills first, because I think the Houston Texans have a good defense. They played well enough to beat Chicago because Chicago's offense is inept. But you looked at what Davis Mills did yesterday. They're down in the red zone here. He throws a pick. It was deflected, but he has to get the ball out front. That took points off the board. And then the critical factor was the game was tied 20-20. Another deflected ball at the line. Roquan Smith takes it down, gets it in field goal range, and it's a walk-off field goal, and Houston loses. So there's been a lot of question, is Davis Mills good enough that we can build a team around because they have a really good rookie running back in Pierce and a good defense, or are they going to have to look at a quarterback after the season? The Las Vegas Raiders we talked about. Last year, 7 of the 9 games they won were by 1 point or 1-score games. This year, 0-3 in 1-score games. And finally, the AFC West, which we talked about. Next week, we'll probably be saying that's the best division in football.
Yeah, the narratives, as we mentioned, changed. And for the Raiders, you're right there, Rick. They won those coin flip games, and things tend to even out. And this year at 0-3. And there was, of course, the Mark Davis and Josh McDaniels closed-door meeting before he went out and met with the media. Rick, certainly appreciate it. Pete, thank you very much as well. Great to be with you guys every Monday to break down Week 3 winners and losers. Pick Six Podcast talking about Week 3 NFL Instant Reaction. Sunday Night Football, Eagles, Tua, Packers, and Bills. Much more with host Will Brinson and the Super Friends, Ryan Wilson and John Breach on the latest pod.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.